My name is Paul. Thank you for asking this question. I think the key to being able to translate sentences into equations is knowing some of the key words. Some of them may be somewhat obvious. For example, if you see here, same as means equal to. Other words that are important are words like more, which will mean add, and less, which will mean minus. Both of those appear in here. In this particular example, they also use the word product, which means multiply. There are several others. We can write them out in a moment here, but let's actually tackle this problem. So instead of reading the entire sentence, it's probably a good idea to read part of it and then write something down, read the next part, write something down, as opposed to reading the whole thing and trying to write everything down. Okay, so I'm taking this directly from what they're saying. They say 2, so I write 2. More means plus. Then 16 times. Here's our 16, a number. We don't know what the number is. And the go-to variable to use when we don't know what a number is x. So that's why I wrote an x here. The times also means multiply. It's the same as product. So take a moment now and make sure that this makes sense. I pause the video if you have to. But assuming that this does make sense, we can move on. The next part is the same as, which translates into equal. So that's where the equal sign is coming from. And the next part's a little bit tricky. I actually wrote it out of order because I think it looks a little bit better this way. They say same as 21 less. 21 less means subtract 21. Then the product. Again, product means multiply of the product of -7 and the number. The number is x. So -7 times x. And then less by 21. Okay, so again, make sure that the part on the right-hand side makes sense as well. Pause the video if you need to. At this point, we can actually solve the equation. I'm going to add 7x on both sides. And the more you do this, the less of it you'll need to write. But starting out, it's probably a good idea to do it step by step. So on the right-hand side, we would get rid of the x's, because we have -7 plus 7 x's. On the left-hand side, we would get 23 of them. Make sure that 16 plus 7 is 23. Okay, and then we'll get the numbers over on the other side. So I'll subtract by 2. There won't be any numbers over here. 2 minus 2 is 0. But on the right-hand side, we would get -21 minus 2, which equals -23. Hey, that's lucky. These two numbers are basically the same except for the plus and minus. So our next step would be to divide by 23 so that we get x by itself. Doing that, we would get x by itself on the left-hand side and -23 divided by 23 on the right side, which equals -1. And that is our final answer. Again, the answers aren't so important. I guess they are important, but they're not the most important part. Setting up the equation is probably the most important part. If they give you the equation, then it's pretty simple. But if they give you a paragraph, you're going to need to know how to write this. So look back at the way they phrase the sentence and what I wrote in blue, and make sure that everything checks out. Again, don't read the entire sentence and then try to write the entire equation. Read a little bit, write something down. Read a little bit, write something down. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for asking this particular question. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.